Hello. Pleased to have you guys on the show. Today we're going to have a wonderful Ask Me Anything session with Dr. Ronak Panchal. He's a graph data scientist at Cognizant. And today we're going to discuss the intersection of agriculture and artificial intelligence. Dr. Ronak, it's a pleasure to have you here. And I'd love to hear a little bit more about who you are, your background, and what you do at Cognizant.
Yes, thank you for introducing me, Malera. So, first of all, welcome to all the participants. Myself, Dr. Ronak Panchal, and I am a data scientist, senior data scientist in Cognizant. So, I am working as a cloud practitioner as well as generative AI, new technology like generative AI and AWS services. So, and my domain is healthcare and life science. So, here uh, my role and responsibilities as a what there are two type of roles. I am a project manager as well as technical expertise in data science. Okay, yeah.
And so let's talk a little bit more about the agricultural domain and what is it? What is the environment like? What is involved in agriculture? Can we set the context for the viewers?
Yes. See, very first in India, I am in India right now. So India is a agricultural country. So in the everywhere I am living in village, a small village near about one towns. So here everybody in nearby my village there are main crop is a sugar cane. Sugar is the main crop. So here, very first initial stage is the consideration of uh, like they are using right now they are not using any agricultural artificial intelligence part in AI, but I will explain how they can leverage the AI in agricultural AI technology in agricultural. So first of all, the I can explain how farm to table. Right, farm to table means right whatever in a agricultural. This is the series of step in an agricultural process to ensure that the food is produced, processed, and consumed in a way of transportation, transparent, sustainable, and locally focused. Here there are some steps like first step is a planning and a crop selection. Very first step is a planning and crop selection. Second is a sustainable farming farming practice. So first is a planning and a crop selection. So here and farmer first of all he choose the what is the type of soil, condition of soil. Okay, then what is the season, what impact environment effect, because every crop is implement in a particular season like in a winter in a in a winter season, summer season, and rainy season. There are different type of crop are we can
Suitable.
start.
Yeah. No, different types of crops are suitable for different seasons and
Yeah,
conditions.
suitable. Yeah, it different type of season is the effect for suitable crop. Right. So this is the first step. Then sustainable farming. Implement the sustainable farming method, such as like organic farming. People nowadays, so many peoples are trying to eat organic food, right? Because whenever we are eating organic food, so less chances of affect any disease or health. This is the first point. So people are now move on this organic farming. Then second, so farmer can try to without chemical, right? Less chemical they are used in their crop. So it is a sustainable. We can say it is a sustainable farming practice, right? Then there is a second thing in a sustainable soil health, water conservation, and biodiversity. Okay, so we can use this type of crop in this sustainable farming practice.
Hmm.
So second, this is the second part. Third, planting and cultivation. Okay, so in the we can say, just 1 minute. In planting and cultivation, planting of crop using and environmentally friendly practice, including crop rotation. Suppose we are not we are every year and every month, suppose crop having certain period of right growing. So suppose crop is completed, then again we can use same crop, so it is a effect on some soil. So farmer is always try to practice crop rotation and companion planting, right? So implementation of precising agricultural technology to optimize planting and cultivation process. This is a right, this is a third point, planting and cultivation. And fourth one is a crop monitoring and management.
Sorry,
Yeah.
before we go further, I just want to rephrase everything that's been said so far because I see that there are some people that are coming into the webinar. So initially, you said that farmers in your
Yes.
area predominantly they farm sugarcane, and whenever a farmer begins to plan out what they're going to do with their farm, how they're going to spend their energy for the coming year for their crop, they have to select a particular crop that is suitable to the soil and the environment that they're in. There are a multitude of variables that they need to take into consideration: the season, which includes the weather, the humidity, the soil, the drainage, the water content, but also there's the farming methodology, which is how do we ensure that we produce this with the least amount of chemicals, the least amount of pollutants to the environment and to the people that consume the product, and that includes thinking about fertilizers, water conservation, and other smart organic farming techniques that help maximize the nutritional value of the produce. And now you were talking about the
crop,
next stage.
crop monitoring and management.
So now it's been planted. Now we planted it. Now we got to make sure that it yields, right?
Yes, yielding. See, in planting, every time, every year, farmer take care about the crop rotation. This is a very important. It is because of our soil is healthy, right? So healthy soil is very important for crop. Because of crop having not proper nutrition, getting nutrition. Then after the harvesting, people are eating this crop, so they cannot get a full nutrition from the crop. So soil health is a very important part. Okay, and less chemical input in the farming. So this is the second thing. And now fourth point is I am emphasizing crop monitoring and management. Suppose uh, crop is growing, right? So that time what happened, some animals are enter in our farm. So or some insect are entered into our farm. They can harm our crops leaves, right? Leaf. So for example, tomato. So tomato, suppose any insect is coming and they can damage our crops leaves. So it is a detect disease, right? For example, so that time we can use AI technique, like we can uh, gi- uh, use some drone based system or sensor based system or satellite based imaginary we can get, right? So we can monitoring crop health, detect disease, access overall plant well-being, right? This is right, it is important, right? Because we are not take care of a crop, so we can reduce our income, or we can reduce our products. Like ultimately crop is our product, right? So this is second, in the second point, in this 4 point, adoption of integrated pest management strategy to minimize the use of chemical inputs. So at people every time pest management, so we can guide take some guidance from some expert, right? Which paste we can use for this particular crop. So this is the crop management, right? So in the crop management we can manage a paste management also, which type of paste we can use. Suppose we some insect is enter in our crop, so we can how we can reduce this type of insect from our crop. So which paste is useful for this? So
When you
this type
say,
of,
sorry, when you say paste, you mean fertilizer and pesticides,
yeah,
right?
pesticides, correct. Yeah, paste. So pesticides, some organic, suppose we are using organic, so we can use organic drugs for particular drugs, pesticides. So it is very useful. And there are some weed is there are extra small plants are growing in between the crop. So this weed we need to remove weed, right? So this is
Wait.
another, yeah, weed. Okay. And next steps is suppose harvesting after crop monitoring and management. There are my next point is harvesting. So for example vegetable, we are making some vegetable, so harvesting some fruits or vegetables, it is every 15 days, every weekly they are uh, uh, we timely harvesting of crop to ensure the peak freshness and flowers, right? For example, and second thing, we can harmonize the harvesting with the transportation also. Suppose we are picking time harvesting some crop, so immediately our crop it enter into a market, particular place, right? Local place or some city market or some crop market, so farming market. So we can enter through the transportation. So transportation is the second thing, it is important, right? And consideration of optimal harvesting time based on the crop maturity and local condition, we can take care of this condition of our crop. Then post harvesting handling. 6 point is a post harvesting handling, gentle handling of harvesting crop to minimize damage and preserve quality, right? For example, some crop is growing, so we can harvest early, so it can reduce the quality, right? We cannot proper, for example mango. So mango is right, we can harvest a mango in early stage, so we cannot get good food, right? Good quality food, right? So this is the in matter watermelon for example. So it is mature, its a size is somehow, it is a particular size, so that farmer can know what is the proper harvesting time. So during the proper harvesting time, we can reduce our minimize the damage of our crop and quality. And quick processing and packaging to maintain freshness. Suppose we can harvest right crop, then in the post harvesting, we can take care of a quick processing for packaging for that freshness of particular fruit or some vegetables. So it is packaging is important part after the after the harvesting.
Um,
Second, yes.
Quick thing. So you mentioned earlier for monitoring when you have the when you've already planted the crop and you're seeing it grow, you're putting fertilizer, you're putting pesticides, you're taking out the weeds. You're using computer vision to augment the capabilities of the farmers and monitor
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There are
But
some IoT based devices is some already in the market. This type of devices already there. Some weeds are increase in between the crop. So there are some devices are already detect there. So this is a way so we can remove this, right. So we can take care about through the device. AI is important. That time AI can leverage the AI technology we can use that time. And next point, pesticides, right. So we required a guidance of expert of through the, and nowadays there are some mobile based application are there. Suppose we have some uh, take the picture of
the
crop leaves,
disease, yeah.
leaves. So there are some and there is a one more app is available in the market, AI based application. So they can easily detect the leaves, right, and it can give the which type of plant is there. So it can recognize the plant, what type of plant is there based on the leaf. So this is the AI techniques is available in market. And use cases like uh, detection of disease. So there are some leaves having some dots, for example small dots. So initial stage there are some different type of like for example blight and early blights. So this type of disease are available. Okay. Yeah, you can see.
And you mentioned that once the crop is grown, you want to maximize the nutritional value and reduce spoilage or wastage. So computer vision and the farmer themselves, they can work together to look at when the crop is going to be ready, mature, fully capable of being harvested, right?
Yes, see every crop having particular time when we need to when we can harvesting. So every vegetable have some different time. For example sugar can have some different timing. So I'm giving this example only, but a local example. But in the market there are n number of crops are available. So every crop having some different time, harvesting time, different quality. So we can measure this quality through the AI application. This type of use case is already available in the market. We can measure the, right, for example we can detect some apple. So apple, it is a, there is a green apple, there is a red apple. So this type of apple having some size, and the what is the calorie and what is the right nutrition, how to find out some nutrition based on this size and images. So this type of AI application is available. And one more application I show, for example apple having some juice. So in the we can use this juice in particular vessel, in particular application, right. So what is the sugar level of this juice? So this type, and this juice is drinkable or not drinkable for a diabetic patient. So this type of use case I show in my university, right. So this is a very nice application, right. So suppose like more sugar, so diabetic patient whatever having, so they cannot eat this type of food. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, there's a number of changes that the crop undergoes throughout its maturity life cycle, from a seed to the end resulting vegetable or fruit. And computer vision can support that, but at the end of the day, it still needs to be processed and sort of analyzed to ensure,
Yes, yes.
is this safe to
Here,
eat?
yeah.
What what is the value nutritionally, and are there any parameters that this needs to be used within? Like if it has pesticides, it might trigger food allergies. It might cause disease. It might cause harm. If it's good for you, it still needs to be eaten in moderation, depending on the dietary requirements of the person who might not be able to eat that. As you said, sugar content is one of those factors that needs to be taken into consideration. So after which you said it moves on to the supply chain, right?
the supply chain, packaging, and post harvesting part. Suppose because of we can maintain freshness of our crop, right? For example, we have the vegetable. So vegetable is not we cannot store many days, but we have the reduce. Suppose we can less. Limited time we can put this mark in the market, like because of freshness, right? Quality, right? We have some for example, spinach is a kind of plant, spinach, spinach. So it is a right after week it is its leaves are dull, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
spoils.
spoil, yeah. So this freshness we need to maintain, and as early as it will goes to the our consumer, right? Client, for example, we are the access of this spinach. So right, suppose I
Suppose
am
I
a
am.
in the for example, we can deal directly with some restaurant, or right, restaurant. We can make a partnership with a restaurant, so they can take directly from farming to direct restaurant, right, so this is a very important, right, second part. And distribution and transportation is I covered. And next part is farmer market and community engagement, right? For example, in farmer marketing is required for their every crops having particular pricing. They are give the budget or price for particular, right, for example, brinjal, right, a lady's finger, or some rice, wheat. So they have some different price according to their weight. So it is a very important. So market and community engagement is required at time. So some economy is growing going on that, right, that on decide on that basis. And next, suppose crop is some restaurant, for example, there are some big restaurant or big hotel motel. So they can directly deal with farmer. So farmer can directly purchase that product to direct restaurant or any hotel or motel, right? So it is because of they can get good fresh product or quality product, and good color sign, like right, directly they can eat. So they can because of restaurant clients, customer are satisfied with fresh food, like so they can supply chain is important that time, okay.
So going back to that supply chain, you said that there's packaging involved, and then it needs to be distributed to an end client. End
Mhm.
client decides whether the produce is good or bad, and
Mhm.
there's the the selling, the marketing of it, and there is also the economical part. How much is this produce worth? Am I willing to buy it? All the end different use cases. You bring it to the supermarket, you bring it to a warehouse for further processing, you bring it to a restaurant, right, or hotel, wherever they cook food and produce it as a finished product, as an added value product. Um, they also inspect themselves through human
Yes.
intervention.
Mhm. And here in the supply chain management, AI is introduced there, because every day what kind of product, what is the inventory, how inventory management, right? Suppose a product which crop is in season wise crop is maintain management is there, right? So it is important, so people can understand and see, I am the owner of the particular crop or marketplace, so I will I am I require the report of a particular, so this how quintal in the quintal, right? Which type of food is in right? For example, how many sugar can produce in particular area, how many crops is sell, demand in the nowadays in the market, how which type of food is demand in the market. So this is very important, right? So this type of report we can right? For example, potato is a evergreen product, right? Potato and onion. So this is right. So sometimes in the onion price is increased, so in the market some right, some local people get the right, they cannot easily get, because some low level right, some border below poverty line people are not take is in so that time it is fluctuation, right? So market is a fluctuation based on this is the it is a commodity, right? Commodity market, right?
Yeah, there's no such thing as it's not so simple as there's more supply, there's less demand.
Yes.
Sometimes there are luxury crops, there are economical crops, there are all different kinds of economic conditions that affect the price, the distribution, consumption of the crop. Marketing trends, if somebody posts a good video on how to create a tomato soup, maybe tomato will be more valuable. Maybe more people will be consuming more
So
tomato.
yeah, there are some pizza, right? Pizza making shop. So they require some vegetable, fresh vegetable, or they need some frozen vegetable like jalapeno, right? So this type of requirement is high. Some pricing are up and down, right? So based on this pricing, pizza price is they are right. What is the low level or high level they can sell or not, right? So it is impact on product, right? It is a crop is ultimately everyone requirement. So it is important. And last
Mhm. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, consumer awareness, education and awareness campaign to inform consumers about the benefit of farm to practice. It is a very important right, consumer means I am the consuming a particular crop. So this is education, right? Providing information about the origin, production method and journey of the food they consume, right? So it is important. So education required for education and campaigning awareness is required. And local food procurement, encouraging local business, school and institute to produce procure food directly from local farm. Support for policies that promote local food procurement. So this is a local food procurement. And next point is consumer purchases and consumption. So consumer make informed choices, purchasing fresh and locally produced food, prepare and consumptions of meal using a seasonal and local source ingredients. So this is a very important part, consumer, right?
Yes.
And last just last thing, there are some waste reduction and recycling, right? It is important. Suppose implementation of sustainable practice to reduce the food waste. So it is recycling and composting to of agricultural byproduct, right? So this is a waste. Suppose some food are waste, so we can recycle. How to what we can produce from that waste material, waste food or waste crop. So this is a some we can think over there. So sometimes what happen, some insights are impact on this particular crop. So our product is our crop is waste. So what we can produce from this type of, so we can produce biogas, we can ethanol, methanol. So what we can, suppose the sugar can waste material, it's some right, small particles of sugar's body, right? Sugar's body is very hard. Inside the sugar body there are some white content. So white contents have some juice, and juice is right. So white content is useful for book first page, right? We can, and boxes we can implement boxes, right? So this waste material how can we use, right? So this it means how to use waste material as a byproduct, and we can leverage this important particles as a any material. We can implement any material from waste food, waste crop.
No, those are very timely requirements in this day and age because when COVID came, it destroyed our supply chain. The complex supply chain that we use to navigate this world was deeply impaired. I've seen something as crazy as Vietnamese limes or let's say tamarinds. You know tamarinds
Tamarinds, yeah.
grown in Vietnam, sent to Argentina or Peru to be packaged and then sold
Mm.
in the US. I mean, there's so much waste of fuel in the global economy to make use of cheaper labor. You know, it's you would get more nutritional value.
Yes, and similar kind of strawberry. Strawberry life is 15 days, maximum to 15 days, 7 to maximum. So strawberry is for example, it is right in
Sensitive, sensitive
yeah,
like spinach.
yeah, spinach, right. So strawberry is a kind of, so it is a waste, right. So what we can implement, what we can make new product from waste, waste food. So it is a right it is a one point, okay.
No,
And
yeah, I'm right there with you. The biogas is a sustainable way of producing fuel for local economies who might not have access to refined petroleum or anything like that. Um, even the fiber, because you were mentioning the fiber, the white aspects of the plants of the sugarcane, that can be
Mhm.
converted to bioplastics,
Yeah,
bioplastics, all sorts of things, even supplements
correctly,
for people.
you heard correctly, right.
So I'm just gonna open up the room for questions. If anybody has a question, feel free to put in a comment. We're happy to answer any questions. But now, Dr. Ronak, we did talk about certifications, and let's start with certifications. What do you think about certifications being a radiator of information for consumers to understand where their produce is coming from?
Which type of certification, can
Organic
you?
farming and
Yes, yes.
local
See, there
sourcing.
are in every country there are agricultural university. So agricultural university teaching some courses, right? How to make organic food in particular farm, in particular environment, one particular season, right. So they can give training, and they then you can get the certification. For example, nowadays someone yeah, implement a crop in particular one room. So how they can make a production of a crop in similar, it is a greenhouse effect, right. You know greenhouse. So in the greenhouse they can make a food, right. They can start a flower, right, flower, and there are some flowers, different type of flower, rose flower. There are some there is no natural flower, hybrid rose flower. So they can crop rose flower is the demanding, right, in everywhere. So in the greenhouse, how they can implement this type of crop in greenhouse environment, in room temperature, right. There they some people are some like some food, like for example what we can say, right. So in their gallery, right, house gallery, they can make, like for example fenugreek, right, fenugreek, right. So they
Leafy plants, right? Like spinach, fenugreek, tomatoes you can grow in house.
right in
The
their
hydroponic, yeah.
so you can first of all you can teach from that type of institute, or some farmer can expert in this and in organic farm. So you can go there, learn them how to they can use which type of component they are using in the growing, how they can grow their crop. So you can learn particular, first you can understand the process, then you can utilize this process at your particular home for organic. Then suppose some institute can provide this type of course, you can go there, try to implement. There are some nursery also. In the nursery there are different flowers, right? Different home plant are there. So you can go there, utilize this that environment or certification uh, courses. Then you can get the certificate, organic certificate, or agroecology is the one field in you can go to agroecology. Right, so for example we are the ontology, so you can go to agroecology. So agroecology, how to implement a different product, right? Food product. So nowadays there are some hybrid product are there. So combination of one product, two products, so they are applying chemical, some how, which type of chemical, which type of pesticides. You can learn for learn the process for there, and understood what is the right how we can get the certification course. That's it.
So we've just discussed the educational component of humans, but maybe we should transition over to the artificial intelligence side, because we gave people a lot to think about with planning, environment, production, monitoring, supply chain, retail, economics. There's so many different facets to this, but the common theme is artificial intelligence can augment the capabilities of people at each stage of the production cycle of an agricultural product.
Agriculture, AI is everywhere nowadays, right? And in agriculture, everywhere agricultural, uh, it is booming nowadays, right? Agriculture and in AI in agriculture has the potential to revolutionize way we approach farming, making it more efficient, sustainable, productive. There are some so many crop management, autonomous machinery, supply chain optimization, crop breeding, farming management system, weather prediction and risk management, market analysis, price prediction based on the some crop. AI can analyze the market trends and predict the commodity prices. Right, it is helpful to farmer. So which strategy we can they can use for that crop. So AI in agricultural great prominent increase productivity, reduce environmental impact, addressing some challenges, feeding a growing global population. So it is a very important nowadays. AI, through the AI we can at least analysis based on the data, right? Agricultural data set we can get from particular institute, and we can analyze and we can predict something, right? uh, Crop management prediction app, predictive analytic we can use. So it is a important. AI can analyze the historical data, weather patterns and other relevant information to predict the crop yields and optimize the planting time. So this is the n numbers of challenges nowadays, right? Weed and pest control is AI can identify and target specific weeds or pests, allowing for more targeted and reduce use of pesticides. This helps the minimize environmental impact and reduce the cost of farmer, right? Farmer having some budget, right? Which type of pesticides we can use for this particular, so they can reduce. AI technically can reduce, so at least they can learn some go somewhere, someone can expert in this area. So at least people can gather, we can make a some gather some one place and understand what is the going on in market. So at least this type of webinar seminar they should be attend, right? Farmer can attend this type of, or in the small village, at least people some educated people are go there and educate them. So this is the one part. So it how we can reduce this. So it is a see this all this part is already going on in everywhere in our country or in abroad country, but at least we can utilize nowadays AI tool are coming IoT based device are there. So how we can uh,
Integrate.
yeah get the take this leverage the leverage the uh, information like how we can use this IoT equipment in agricultural farming. So it is right, it is a fundamental, right? Everyone need to understand fundamental. So AI fundamental, how AI fundamental we can use in a farm.
I think you mentioned something very important:
Yes.
artificial intelligence, which is a big umbrella of technologies, machine learning, natural language processing,
Mhm.
all these different terminologies, knowledge graph, knowledge representation, ontologies. There's a lot to be unpacked there, but you made mention to something very insightful. It's meant to help with analytics, right?
Yes.
That's what it serves to help break down and help us understand the information, the data that we have in front of us. You also said we have available to us uh, these IoT devices, we have sensors, we have means of collecting data, and also people produce data in the marketplace. Someone says a tomato's worth $1 or worth 90 cents or 60 cents, but there's a lot of data that's being produced, and it's being produced at different aspects of the supply chain, from the planning to the planting to monitoring to selling to making the tomato sauce, to making the pizza. There's all these different data points. Um, we talked about federated learning
Yes.
before we started, and I think that's an interesting concept to go into. And I think it's very relevant to the idea of agriculture, with it being such a distributed source of data production, data consumption. Can we talk a little bit about federated learning?
Mhm. Federated learning is very useful nowadays because some farmer don't want to share their data set to global market. So that time federated learning is introduced because of data privacy, data security, data set privacy, data set security. So it is a very important. So federated learning is work in a decentralized environment and centralized environment. So I am talking about federated learning in a decentralized environment. For example, I have one use case. For example, there are five farms are available. In one farm I am cropping tomato, in another brinjal, another five different vegetables are I crop there. So what can I do in tomato? There are some different type of diseases are there. So how can we identify or recognize these diseases, right? So farmer take some pictures, right? And my deep learning model, right, CNN model can in market there are CNN models. So I already prepare one CNN model for identify there are some disease are there or not using, right? So in the CNN there are some so my data set is available on server, but what happened in this is a global server, but I am that my CNN model is local model can generate the proper accuracy, what is the uh, disease are there for particular crop. And another suppose I have the n number, so I have the one architecture, but it is not shareable. But in federated learning it is a one server is there, a global server is there, there are a local server is for local analysis. So in the local level my data set is analyzed and find out some accuracy. And there is a one graph, communication graph. So communication graph, communication round graph is useful because there are minimize my communication round. That means my privacy is maintained. Okay, with global model. My in the local level, my analysis is completed. Now what happened? I can assign my accuracy to global server, federated global server. So global server can take care of this accuracy and give the this crop having some this is the accuracy of detection of disease from particular plant. So this is a important, right? This is the part of federated learning. Federated learning is nothing but it is used for data privacy, data security of our data set. That's it.
So all these different data points, all these different um, chains in the supply chain of agriculture, they produce their own set of data points, information.
Hmm.
Um, the concept of federated learning is that the whole supply chain makes up the global network of information consumers and producers. But rather than introduce something to the global space, you just share it with your neighbor. If you're producing the
It's
tomatoes and you're going to give it to the transportation agent,
not in a sad, right? In the federated learning, multiple right factors, right? Common factors. But without sharing my data, my accuracy is supply. For example, machine learning. First of all, some machine learning task. So I can share my data set, right? But in the federated learning, I am not sharing my data. So addressing the critical issues such as data privacy, data security, data access rights, and access to heterogeneous data. So here federated learning, it is a one kind of model. Federated learning is a machine learning technique that train an algorithm via multiple independent session, right? Each using its own data set. For example, I don't want to share my data. So but uh, uh, f- I can use federated learning and analyze my data, and whatever accuracy and whatever insights of that data I can supply to my main model, global model. So global model can expose the right data, but that time my data is not shared to remote level. So here main challenge is here I can secure my data privacy and data security and data access rights. So this is the important part in federated learning. Okay.
if we were to take a idealistic view of the future of agriculture and say, we have a decentralized
Mhm.
agricultural supply chain and people can grow food at home and people have access to local, fresh, nutritious food, what would that look like? And how can
Mhm.
artificial intelligence, how can the Internet of Things, IoT devices support that vision?
Yes, we can use this federated model in IoT device, so it can use right. So, for example, I am a client. I can use my data set in my local mobile machine, for example, or my laptop. I can uh, uh, analyze something, right? Then, whatever my last prediction, I can supply this to my remote server. Like remote server is whatever place, so I can give. So we can analyze heterogeneous places and analysis and decentralized environment. We can do this federated learning. Okay. And next part, I can cover ontology, right? How we can implement agricultural ontology, what component, what classes I can use in agriculture ontology. So very important part is in agricultural and ontology in agriculture is a structured representation of knowledge about agriculture, including concept, relationship, entities, to relevant fields, and ontology are used to model and organize information in a way, right, that facilitate the better understanding, interoperability, and communication different system or stakeholder, in agricultural. That purpose we can make agricultural ontology. So there are some key concept. For one, first key concept is a crop. Second is a crop variety. Crop is like wheat, rice, corn, soybean. This is a type of crop. So those are the instance. Those are the value, literal right value. And there are some crop variety: winter wheat, jasmine rice, yellow corn, right? So this is the crop variety. And third entity is a soil type. Soil is a like a clay, loam, sandy, right? And wheat, right? So this is a dry soil, clay soil, loam soil, sandy soil. So this is a nothing, this is a type of soil whatever I have implement as a agricultural ontology. So that I am explaining.
So
Next is
ontology is the study of what exists and what doesn't exist, and how we classify things, and how we say this is related to that. So you're showing us that there is a multitude of variables that
yes.
have different variations in themselves, such as crop and crop variety, soil type, weather, I imagine, season, I imagine. But I just wanted to introduce that concept a little bit more.
Yes, other things is weather condition, rainy, sunny, drought. These are the weather condition we can include, right? All the entities, all the classes are interconnected, right? With some relationship in ontology. Paste. So amphibians, wavils, myths. These are the paste, right? And there are some disease, crop disease like rust, blight, and smooth smut smooth, right? And fertilizer, like nitrogen based fertilizer, phosphorus based fertilizer, potassium based fertilizer. So this is the fertilizer, right, of particular crop. And there are some equipment. So whenever we are we are start farming, so there are, we require some equipment like tractor is required for harvester, plows, cultive. So these equipment are required. And agricultural practice like organic farming, precision farming, agroforestry farming. And suppose we can make an application, right? Web application or some kind of application we can implement. So we have some location of some farm. So for the location purpose, we geographical location purpose, we require longitude, latitude, altitude. This is this points we require, and we can put this in our ontology. So I am discussing ontology schema only. We can add this type of information in ontology. Then we can give a particular, suppose I am the owner of farm, so I have the farm id, farmer name, what is the size of farm, in acres, right? For example, size of farm means I have so many acre lands, right? Then I am starting the farming. So there are some crop rotation plan. Previous what I am previous year what I can do for crop. Current crop what can I do now, right? Harvesting seasons, spring's harvesting, summer harvesting, fall harvesting. So those are the very important points we
So
can. Yes.
we're examining the world through human knowledge. We're examining the world through things that we can observe, things that have been classified, things that have been labeled. Um, where do we begin with this? If we were to do an agriculture ontology for one farm, would we ask questions? Do we look at documents? Do we read books? What is the point to begin shaping
See,
an
this,
ontology?
yeah, this ontology is useful for in future chatbot. Suppose I can utilize this ontology with a large language model, for example, LLM, OpenAI. So that time I can use OpenAI API in Python script, and I am fetching those type of data in my question answering tool. So LLM can respond something, right? For example, what is the type of soil, what is the soil type, this is my question. So from the ontology I can retrieve, through the Sparkle query I can retrieve some information, but large language model can respond more information about this particular types. This is a very important, so I can integrate ontology with generative AI. This is my motive. So in future generative AI is everywhere nowadays. Clients are using generative AI in their chatbot, in their question answering, right? Some data is not stored in the database, but data is automatically retrieved through the large language model,
But
right? This is
for us to make the ontology to integrate with LLMs, with generative AI, with anything else, IoT, it doesn't matter. For us
yes.
to create the ontology, we need
Mhm.
people, right? We need to do it with people. We need subject matter experts.
Yes, those people who wants to research on agricultural side, those people who wants to research on plant or a crop or some, so those have a those can utilize this ontology, right, in their research work. Okay.
Do you have any words of advice for people that are starting some research into the agriculture domain or just ontology engineering?
In ontology, see, there are some challenges you can, right? Can you see me, can you come again?
Yeah, no, I hear you. What are some advice that you can provide? What are some advice that you can provide to people that are researching a new area and attempting to build an ontology in that domain?
Agricultural domain.
Sure, let's take agriculture for an example.
Okay. So what first of all, I am explaining federated learning, right? So federated learning is useful, right? Start some pilot project, right? uh, like testing of detecting of leaf detection, right? So those who are beginner in agricultural with AI, so they can start leaf detection, right? Leaf disease detection, right? Leaf health detection. So this is important. Then uh, recognize some plant through the some plant structure, right? This is second, right? CNN, computer vision based application, right? They can uh, start. Okay. And beginning collecting relevant data, right? For example, suppose someone wants to make a AI application, start data collection related to soil condition, weather pattern, and crop performance. Then they can get high quality data and crucial for AI algorithm to provide accurate insights. So it is right important. And suppose they can implement AI tool and platform that are the user friendly and align with your farmers needs. So look for solution. You can contact the local farmer or some right farmer who have good experience in the real time farming. So you can contact them, and what is the requirement, what they can build, right? So you can get the support and guidance for users, like right, which type of new AI can introduce in agriculture. So it is a very suitable. You can find uh, you can collaborative work with agricultural expert, agronomist, and AI specialist. They have some idea, so you can implement enhance that idea, right? This collaborative can provide a valuable insight and ensure the chosen AI solution and as are well suited to your specific farmer context. That's it.
And apart from just sourcing the data straight from the farmer, there's the government, there's scientific and research institutions. There's a variety of places that you can source high quality data that
Yeah,
already
there
exists,
are,
right?
yeah.
You don't need to
Mhm.
collect it locally. You could collect it at a regional or international or federal level, right?
Yeah, I have right. There are in market. There are suppose someone wants to Kaggle is the one source, right? Data.gov.usa, right? .org. This is another source, right? So those source are very important for we can easily get the plant pictures or CSV data or JSON data or RDF based data. So utilize those data set and start learning or start research over there.
Well, Dr. Ronak Panchal, thank you very much for coming on and thank you for sharing your knowledge. I hope that this spreads far and wide and people get a better understanding of agriculture and artificial intelligence and how they can come together to help us make more food, more nutritious, and yeah, locally, right? Locally and fresh.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Malera. Thank you. Bye.
Um,